In this video, I'm going to be trimming this cute little Toy Poodles Top Knot. She's already been bathed and blow dried, and now I'm just combing everything out. Now her owner did clip a little bit in the front of her top knot so she can see. So there is a little like divot there that I just got to work around. The first thing I do is I use my straight scissors and create a line above the ears and on the sides of the top knot as well, just clipping anything hanging down. Now when I do a top knot, I go over it over and over and over again. Your first clip doesn't have to be perfect. Once you get, you know, the shape of the top knot, you can always go over it at the end. So now I'm just trying to create a line above her ears where the ear meets the top of the head. And just taking all that hair underneath and behind her ear. Isn't she cute? It's a nice chocolate brown toy poodle. I'm just trimming the other side, just getting above her eyes. You can see the hair that's missing above between her eyes, above on top of her head. That's what the owner clipped. But it's okay. It'll look okay in the end. I'm just getting everything. I'm gonna lift up her ear and trim all those hairs that are hanging down below. She's already been clipped as well, her whole body. Her face has been shaved. Now I am using my curved shears. Curved shears are great for creating the round top knot. And I start at the sides. I usually like to do both sides and then trim in the middle and then at the back of the top knot. I just go over it and over it just to make sure it's perfect. It's kind of hard for me to do when the camera's right in front of me, but I like to show and share how I groom dogs so that you can learn. She's so adorable. Now I do the other side. Her owner likes like a larger top knot, so I don't cut it too short. And I personally like the taller, bigger top knots. I don't really like when they're so short. It just makes them look a little bit awkward. I don't know. Whatever. If you like a short top knot, you can definitely trim it short. You can even use clippers on the top knot if you like. Some people don't even like a top knot on their poodle and they just shave it off. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit difficult to go around that area where the owner has trimmed. But at least they tried. Some owners won't cut it and then the hair is right in their eyes. So it's okay. I'm just blending in the back of her top knot into her neck. I don't really leave like a long crest at the back of her neck. I kind of just blend it in. And I comb everything up to the side. You can just like tweak the little ears and then the top knot will flop into, you know, where it sits and you can see all the uneven parts. So this, I just combed it to one side here. And then what I do is trim off anything that's hanging below the line that I created already on the side. There'll be lots of combing again. Always combing. You can comb it, it'll look great. You'll comb it again and you'll see a lot of stick-ups. You can just comb and comb and comb. Now I comb it to the other side and I'll trim it the same way. Whatever's hanging over the line that I already created, I just trim that off. Then I comb it backwards and forward. Check my work. Just trying to get the right camera angle. Now I'm gonna pull it forward and then trim anything that's overhanging the front of the top knot. She's a really good poodle. Look at her. I think she enjoys the grooming. Most poodles do. They're so good for grooming. And I'm basically just clipping anything that I see that's sticking out. Trying to blend in that little clipped area by the owner. But next time she comes, if the owner hasn't trimmed at her top knot, I'll blend it in more. I'm still using my curved shears. It's best to have the dog face you so that you can see anything sticking up. Have a nice backdrop and background so they can see the hairs sticking up. Here I'm just blending it into the back of her neck. Not really a crest, it's just blending it into the neck where it's short. I did a 5F on her body and her neck. I don't like to leave the blunt line. Like if I didn't if I shaved her neck all the way to the top knot, there would be a line and you would see it. I like to blend it into the neck so you don't see that line where the back of the head meets the neck, if that makes sense. Just more or less blend it in instead of, you'll see an obvious line there. Now if you don't like the lines above the ears, you can blend it into the ears as well, instead of creating that line on top of the ears right there. If you don't like a line like that, you can just blend it into the ears instead of making that line. But there's a lot of different ways you can do top knots. This is just one of them, how I do the top knot. Now I got my shape and I'm just going over it again. I just trim off any fuzzies on top of the ear so they're not like sticking out. Then I trim the ears. The owner likes them a little bit shorter. I gotta get the back of the ear there. I feel like getting my scissors right now and trimming it. I get it eventually. Usually when I turn off the camera and stop filming, I can look at the dog much better and then get every little hairs that I missed. So this is just like a general idea how I trim the dog to give you ideas and some tips. So the back of the ear there. Get all that off there. Yeah, see, I missed a piece. I'll go back to it though. And then I have to, well, trim the other ear to make sure it's the same length as the other side. Sometimes this can be tricky. You'll trim it, then you'll look, and then the other one's too long. You cut this one too short, then you have to cut the other one shorter. Or one's longer than the other, then you have to keep on trimming them. If you put the dog facing you where you can see the dog, you can check both ears to make sure that they are even. I like to round them up at the end so they just don't look like blunt straight across. They kind of match. And get all that hair behind the ears. You want to pull the ear forward toward the nose. Then you can get all the hair that's hanging like behind the ear. Now I just comb and comb and comb. Look how good she is. She's a perfect model. She's like falling asleep. So sweet. I'm just trimming the back of the top knot. Sorry, I should have moved the camera up higher. But you can get a general idea. And again, I'm just going over it. I can go over this top knot like for hours and still I'll find some hairs sticking up. You gotta, there we go. You gotta learn when to stop trimming, because I mean, you can trim and trim and trim, then it'll get shorter and shorter and shorter. And you'll just keep trimming, because then if you trim a little piece too short, you gotta, you know, cut everything else short to match it or blend in that piece. But then it might look uneven. So a lot of checking, a lot of combing. You can also use a scissoring spray. That helps, you know, with the hair and trimming. These are my chunkers. I'm making like a little V between the eyes. There. That looks better. And on the ears as well. You can use either the chunkers or the thinners. It just blends the hair, and I find the chunkers work really, really great. They're so sharp and everything. You can get like all the detail. And then the thin and shears are, you know, really good blenders. They'll blend in any hairs, any sharp like cuts that you see, blend it right in. It looks like she has a bow in her top knot where the owner clipped. Kind of cute. I'm just getting closer to her eye, the corner of the eye. Holding her ear back. Making sure I got everything. Just doing my final touches. She's such a good girl. She wants to have a nap. Lots of combing, lots of checking. Those are my thin and shears, just using briefly for finishing touches. She doesn't need much more work. I should have put a bow where the indent is, where her owner's trimmed. But isn't she cute? She's such a good girl. For trimming, this is how I trim the top knot of a poodle, of this particular poodle anyways. So if you like my channel, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And give it a like and share it. And I will see you in the next video.